Hey guys, Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing a product courtesy of a company called DBPOWER. Today the product in question is an air compressor. This particular air compressor is designed to be portable, plug up to the 12-volt outlet in your vehicle, and has multiple outputs that you can configure on the device, and is good up to a maximum pressure of 150 psi. According to the manual, the power plug is 3 meters long. The air hose is 20 inches long. In the center, we have the on-off power button, as you can see right here. And we've got the PSI scale right up here. Going in further reveals that there's a few more specifications to take into consideration. The full load current is 10 amps. The tested standard pressure is 42 psi. Continuous working hours, 10 minutes. And that's important to note right there. You're not supposed to use this device for more than 10 minutes at a time. So keep that in mind. Looking forward, the operation temperature, which is important to note, is negative 20 degrees Celsius to approximately 60 degrees Celsius. So you don't want to use the product outside of that range of temperature. Now that we've gone over some technical specs, let's actually take a look at the device itself. Here you'll see it has a compartment to tuck away that big 3-meter cable. And in here you'll also see the adapters that will go on the nozzle. These adapters allow you to connect particular different things. I know this big metal one is particularly good for inflating things like basketballs and stuff like that. But let's move around to the other side, and you'll see there's another recess in the device where you can store what would be, I'm sorry, it's a little cumbersome with one hand, the cable that plugs up to your car. Now, if you've ever used any sort of device that pumps or inflates, you should be pretty familiar with this type of setup. In order to release, you have it sticking outwards. You put this over the little protruding nozzle on the wheel, and then you close it and it clamps it shut. One thing I can tell you right away is it feels like I'm going to lose these little adapters if I just leave it sitting in there like this. There's no way to securely place them in the device without worrying about them falling out. So you might want to find a better spot to keep these for future reference somewhere in your vehicle. Now, since this product is really aiming at being portable so you could keep it in your car in case of an emergency, this is what we're going to be testing the product on specifically, is the vehicle. So when using this product for your vehicle, it's important to remember that the specifications for the PSI of each of your tires is already predetermined by the manufacturer of your vehicle and can often be found just inside the door handle. So for me, the front and rear tires should be at 29 psi, so that's what we're going to be aiming for. So in the back of my vehicle I have a 12-volt outlet, and this is the wire for the compressor, and as you can see we've got plenty of distance on it. Should be more than capable of trying to pump up the tire right here. I'm going to let out a little bit of air and we're going to compress it back up. Alright, so as you can see, I've let some air out of my tires, and I've also got my car running so that we don't wear out the battery. The air compressor is hooked up, and we are sitting at a little under 25 psi. Remember, we want to get to about 29. Now, each step marked on this air compressor is 5 psi, so one mark above 25 psi is 30 psi. So we're going to try and get right on that mark above the 25 mark. Let's go ahead and turn the device on. Okay, so we're sitting at just under 30 psi, or about 30 psi. And if you remember, we needed to be at 29 psi for my front and rear tires, according to the specifications set by the manufacturer of my vehicle. We were down below 25 psi when we started, and it popped it back up pretty quick. Taking a visual inspection of my tires, everything appears to be fine. So I'm going to say that the device here seems to work pretty well. So right now I'm going to go over my final thoughts on the product here. The cord is definitely long enough to be able to pump up any of the four wheels on my vehicle. Now, I have a 12-volt outlet in the back of my vehicle and one in the front, which means that I'll always be able to get to it with this 3-meter cord. The cable used right here for the actual air seems pretty well made. Everything seems sturdy. I don't think anything's going to break. Although the plastic on here does kind of make it feel cheap. Got to remember, plastics are generally pretty good nowadays compared to where they used to be. And because of it not being all metal, it shouldn't have any sort of corrosion problems or rusting problems. Once again, these little attachments, they're good for some extra things, but ultimately you're going to want to store them in a different space. For what it's worth, this product was pretty inexpensive, and I think it's, pretty good, actually. I used to carry something like this in my vehicle just in case of emergencies a long time ago, and I stopped carrying it because it was actually kind of bulky and really didn't fit well in my storage areas of my vehicle. But I do like to have stuff on me just in case. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. This is one of those devices that I can see definitely being under that category of, just in case. Because you carry jumper cables in your vehicle generally. A lot of people still carry spares in their vehicle like I do. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't carry something like this as well. It falls under that same kind of category. So, given all of that, yeah, okay. It doesn't feel like a super premium product, but functionally, it works quite well. So, that being said, yeah, I would personally say that this product is something that if I had to purchase again for another vehicle, I would probably be comfortable purchasing it again. So, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, show your friends, check out my other videos. Got plenty of them, and as always, I'll see you next time. Please drive safe.